talked about after the game. I mean, after watching the film, you know, opportunities there. Need to take advantage of them. Obviously, the biggest thing we have to do is stop, contributing to losing with mistakes that we have control over, and most of those center around turnovers and penalties. And so, we'll keep working at both areas to try to play a turnover-free game, a penalty-free game. When we do that, I think the result will be a lot more favorable for us. So, we're going to address those things again and continue to harp on them. Thought the kicking game, thought we made some really solid plays in the kicking game, had some things that we have been working on, got a decent return on the kickoff return from DeAndre, got really good punting from AJ, some good coverage. Thought we were physical in terms of some of the coverage guys. Kanai Mauga showed up big time yesterday in terms of his coverage. So there was a lot, in the kicking game that I felt like we made some progress in. Put him back there a number of times relative to the field position part of the game. Defensively, I thought we talked about this yesterday after the game. We missed a handful of tackles that ended up in some extra yards that, if we can get those guys to the ground. Otherwise, we would have, I think we would have stopped them a few other times as well. But I thought they really got a handle on how the game was being played defensively as it went on. Played physical. Again, take away a few of the missed tackles, and I thought we really tried to kind of contain this group as best we could. It's obviously really good quarterback and a good offense, and to hold them where we did and give ourselves an opportunity, I give our defense a lot of credit. And as we talked yesterday, I thought Aiden, the game was a hair quick for him early. We didn't do a good enough job of protecting, early in the game, and then obviously tried to make some adjustments there. He got a little bit more comfortable in the second half and, made some decent plays, but ultimately not enough to win. And, we all have to do a better job. So that's what we're going to focus on this week.
You guys made a decision on, is Aiden going to get some more action, or is it Jimmy G if healthy?
Well, Jimmy would be. I mean, we're still waiting and seeing. We're still under the same conversation we were last week until he clears. So he would have to clear first, and then we could talk about, that. But yeah, if he is, then that's what we would do.
Talk about the penalties. I know they come in all different shapes and sizes. There was the Tillery, the Jacoby Myers maybe was questionable even. I mean, is there a common theme in the penalties that you can?
Not really. You saw them. It wasn't like it was 7 offsides penalties or 7 offensive holding penalties or anything like that. The Tillery play, like I said, it was a one step onto the white. So that is what it is. The Myers play was a tight coverage play. There was a couple guys back there. I thought he made a really good play on the ball, but, they called some contact there in that situation. The Spillane, on the interception, that was kind of again, we understand the rule. I think all our guys do that, and it's the force. It's the force that you do it with that creates the contact. So, it wasn't one penalty that kept showing up. And, we just, again, the best thing we can do is keep educating, keep coaching it, keep talking about it. I think our guys, they want to play penalty free. They don't want to go out there. They're not trying to commit penalties. I know that. So, we just got to make better decisions in certain situations. And, there's going to be a few every week where it might be a bang play and you're trying to do the right thing, but, you get called, and I understand those. So we'll continue to coach off of what we saw.
You see the video of Tillery?
Go ahead.
When you see the video of Tillery's head,
Yeah.
What do you think he's worth ejecting? Do you talk?
That's not my call, So I understand the penalty. I don't make the decision on the ejection. So, that's for them to decide.
Do you have a talk with him, Jerry, about what the play about?
Yeah, I talked to him about it. We specifically discussed it. I thought he was making a great effort to get over there. And as we saw later on, Herbert, he's a big guy that, when he chooses to keep running and go down the sideline and all the rest of it, he can actually make some yards, and is a problem when he has the ball in his hand. So I give Jerry, credit for the effort. We just, at that point, it's such a, the burden's on the defense, you know what I mean? And so if the player steps into the white, you got to not hit him, so that's always a potential, to come up when the runner is on the sideline, and we just have to pull off at the last second and not hit him, not make contact.
I know you mentioned the Jacoby OPI, there was the crackback block too, that one I wasn't clear on, did you see the play?
I just say that I didn't think it was a illegal crackback. I didn't understand that part of it, but I'm not, again, I thought we were in the front. You know what I mean? That's the best I can say. I thought we were in the front. We always obviously coach him to be in the front. I thought he did a good job of getting it. The defender actually came to make contact with us as well. So I don't know. I thought it was two guys playing physical and trying to do the right thing.
Coach, in terms of that Tillery hit, obviously, a penalty is never a good thing, but do you think it helped the team out in any kind of way? Did they, kind of gather around it at all?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I thought we played hard the entire day. I thought we kept playing no matter what happened. I wouldn't say that one way or the other off that play.
How does the extra day, Josh, with the next game not being till Monday night
Yeah.
at home, how does that affect your schedule and your preparation?
Yeah, I think we're gonna. We've talked about this in the off season. Honestly, Paul was, having the late bye after 12 games. We were gonna try to work in extra days of rest, recovery, etc. as we could. So we'll end up practicing 3 times this week, not 4. Obviously, we would have the ability to do 4, but we're not going to do that. We'll use that 4th day to, do something productive for our guys relative to their body, their recovery, and we'll get a little bit into Green Bay. But, we'll try to do that. We have a couple Monday nighters in the next, whatever month it is, I think. So we're going to try to make sure we're smart and not overdo it. And obviously, then you have the 6-day week coming behind that. So, we talked a lot about it in the off season, try to set it up this way so we can try to function the right way, get the work in we need to get in, but also try to build in a little extra rest as we go.
How's Devontae feeling after that hit?
I say the same thing. I mean, he's a warrior, and to come back in and play the way that he did after that. I give him obviously all the credit in the world. It's a tough son of a gun, and what a great team player. So I haven't seen him yet this morning. I'm sure he'll be a little sore, but remarkable in terms of being able to come back and do what he did.
Speaking of team players, Josh Jacobs had a heck of a day, more receiving even than rushing, but is he starting to come into form from what you're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, he is who he is, and so, however he gets the ball, it's a good play for us, in terms of giving him an opportunity. So, Aiden found him a number of times in the passing game. I thought he ran hard, made some really good runs, in critical situations, the touchdown on 4th and 1, had some other really good solid runs in between the tackles too. So, the more we can give him the ball, the more we can get him started in space, the better we are. So, I thought he did a great job.
You mentioned after the game, he's just tired of losing, right? He has that mentality of,
Yeah.
I'd rather hate losing more than even enjoy winning. Is that the kind of mentality that you want to see from
I think
those guys?
everybody's feeling that. Like, I don't think anybody really cares about individual statistics right now. There's one statistic we care about now, and we got to do more things. Again, we've talked about this a lot. Until you can stop from losing, it's hard to win. And so the things that contributed to losing, we got to stop. Doing them. And taking care of the football offensively, penalties. In any phase of the game, we have to play a cleaner version of football, and if we do, I think the formula will be there, and things will seem like they're a little easier for us. Not easy in terms of who we're playing, but, we make the game hard sometimes, 2nd and 20 and 3rd and long and those kind of things, just giving free yards to the opponent, and then, putting the defense in bad positions, turning the ball over in our own end and having to play sudden change defense too many times this season. So, again, that's going to be the goal, to not turn the ball over and to try to play as penalty-free as we can and see if that formula doesn't result in the game seeming a little simpler than what it seems right now.
Any update on Nate Hobbs?
Nothing right now. No, I don't.
you talk about making the game harder on yourself. Devontae said that yesterday of almost waiting to be in desperation mode and then attacking. And it's seemed like the last couple weeks. Have you felt the players have felt that way?
I don't. I mean, I don't think we're not trying to play aggressively. I understand the comment, and honestly, I think it's all week. You know what I mean? We all got to do it all week long. We got to feel like that right now about the Packers, not wait till, Sunday or Monday to start turning that on. So, no, like I said, our guys feel how they feel, and they want to win. And certainly when you fall behind in this league, you start scrambling, scrapping, and trying to do everything you can to get back into it. And and I credit our guys fight for that. We want to try to do that, before we fall into that position, and we've gotten ahead in most games this year, not yesterday, but we gotta be able to start the game and play for 60 minutes the right way. And if we do, we've seen stretches where we've been pretty competitive against everybody we've played. And what we need to do is do it, for the entirety of the game and see what the outcome is, and then see if we can duplicate that.
As a coach, how do you stress a sense of urgency in the locker room without necessarily getting too carried away since it's so early in the season?
We're going to stay the same. We correct things when we win. We correct things when we lose. We all understand the situation. You go into every season. There's going to be some peaks and valleys, and unfortunately, we've started, and now we've lost a couple close ones here in a row, and we're going to need to pick ourselves up and get going. You know what I mean? There's no shortcut to it. Every man's got to do the work. We've got to put it in and get ready to go, and no feeling sorry for ourselves or anything like that. So we'll address the things we need to address, correct the things we need to correct. I think they'll be very accountable to it. They already have been. I already seen that today. And so, that'll be our attitude going forward.
Did the defense build off of what they were able to do in the second half?
I think, honestly, the defense has done a decent job. Again, there's some plays here and there in the last 2 weeks where you'd say, man, we got to, we want to shore that up a little bit. But I think we've tried to play physical. We've tried to, contain the running game. We've tried to hit the quarterback. We've tried to, get on the receivers a little tighter. I think the last 2 games have really been a positive step for us defensively. Again, we got to do more to help them, and less to put them in a bad situation. We're giving the offense the ball on the other side of the 50-yard line. So I really like the way that they're playing. They'll shore up some things. We know we got a few things we need to fix here, but I really like the way that they're attempting to do things.
You guys good?
Good. Thanks a lot.